Hi folks, this is Richard from Inclusive Driving. In this short video we're going to show you how to turn on the car, how to get the car moving, how to stop the car in various different situations, and how to turn off the car at the end of your journey. To turn on the car, ensure that the gear selector lever is all the way forwards in the P for park position. Place your foot on the brake and press the power button behind the steering wheel. The display will illuminate and you'll see a message on the display saying ready. To get the car moving, place your foot on the brake pedal. Using the button behind the gear selector lever, bring the gear selector to position D for drive. And now, as soon as you take your foot off the brake pedal, the car will creep forwards and you can increase the speed using the accelerator pedal. To slow the car, simply use the brake pedal, and to increase the speed again, use the accelerator pedal. If you need to stop the car momentarily, such as at a stop sign or another busy junction, simply keep your foot on the brake pedal, and when you're ready to move the car, release the brake pedal and the car will start to creep, and you can increase the speed of the vehicle using the accelerator pedal. If you need to stop the car for a prolonged period of time, such as at a red traffic light, bring the car to a stop in the normal way with the brake pedal. Pull on the parking brake button and push the gear selector lever into N for neutral. You can now take your foot off the brake. When you're ready to get the car moving again, bring the gear selector to D and use the accelerator pedal to move off. The parking brake will disengage automatically. If you are parking the car for a prolonged period of time, for example at the end of a journey, using the button behind the gear selector, push the gear selector to P for park. The parking brake will switch on automatically and you can take your foot off the brake. When we are in P for park, we can also turn off the car simply by pressing the power button behind the steering wheel. So to recap, press on the brake and press the power button with the gear selector lever in P for park. Bring the gear selector to D for drive. Release your foot from the foot brake and the car will creep, and you can increase your speed using the accelerator pedal. If you are stopping for a long time, such as at a traffic light, apply the parking brake and move the gear selector lever to N for neutral. You can take your foot off the brake. To get the car moving again, select D for drive and use the accelerator pedal to move off. The parking brake will release automatically. If you are pulling up at the side of the road, stop the car in the normal way. Move the gear selector to P for park. You will need to use the button behind the gear selector lever to reach park. The parking brake is automatically applied. You can take your foot off the brake, and if you are leaving the car, you can turn it off by pressing the power button behind the steering wheel.